Hello, and welcome to Career Corner. I am your host, Dion Johnson, and today we are joined by Jade Corley, who works as a flanger operator and a department leader at the Commercial Metal Forming. How are you today?
Pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Let's start off by you telling us a little about yourself.
Well, like I said, my name is Jade Corley. I am from Girard. I'm married. I have two children, Lucas and Georgia. I actually graduated from, it was at the time the JVS in 2000 in graphic arts. And in 2000, I joined the Marine Corps and served in Iraq in 2003
thank
for the
you.
invasion.
Awesome. Now, getting into your career, can you tell us a little bit about what do you do?
Well, I'm a flanger operator, like you said, at Commercial Metal Forming, and what we do is make tank heads that go on actually many different industries, as far as oil and gas. And I actually just found out last week, we actually make the end caps for pontoons that go out on offshore oil rigs.
Oh, wow.
So we make end caps for oil tankers on trains. So we're a multifaceted company. We actually have our company here in Youngstown, Fort Worth, Texas, and Los Angeles. So we can actually
wow.
cover the United States. We have a big distribution area. So.
Absolutely. That's a lot. What are some misconceptions about your job?
Well, there's a couple misconceptions about the whole manufacturing industry as a whole. That it's archaic, that it's old, outdated, old-fashioned. And I really don't think that's true. I think in the last 20 years, actually a little bit longer than that, since the CNC was invented and actually is become popular in the industry, we're advancing. We're advancing all the time, and that's how to stay. How do I put this? It's how to stay a leader in your industry. You have to invent new things. You have to come up with new technology in order to grow your business. So.
Absolutely. So what type of training or schooling do you need in this career?
Well, actually, for me as a flanger operator, I actually had to go to Saginaw, Texas, right outside of Fort Worth, to train for 5 months because this was a brand new machine at our company, and nobody knew how to run it. So, me and another person went down. Also, in my department, they had to go to California, Los Angeles, like I said, to train on that machine. But in this industry, you can go get your bachelor's, 4-year bachelor's in mechanical engineering, structural engineering, electrical engineering. So this industry it's huge. So you can go get an apprenticeship in different industries, but like machinists. You can do an apprenticeship, normally 3 to 5 years before you become a journeyman. So 3,000 to 5,000 hours. You can come here. You can come to the TCTC.
TCTC, absolutely.
And learn your trade there. So.
Awesome. That's awesome. At this time, we're going to go to the engineering program here at TCTC.
In the Engineering Technology program, students explore the design process and learn 21st century skills like problem solving, critical thinking, and communication. While the basis for the lab is mechanical, civil, electrical, aerospace, and manufacturing engineering, many other related fields and careers are discussed, such as additive manufacturing, robotics, computer-aided design, and machining. If you enjoy inventing, designing, and finding solutions to a challenging real-life situation, then engineering technology is the program for you.
Wow, very awesome. Now, at this time, I'm going to ask you a few more questions, all right? One of them being, what is the most rewarding thing about your career?
Well, there's a saying that if you love what you're doing, it's not work. And I do love what I do. I love what I do. It's challenging. It provides a very good life for my family. And that's most important for me, is making sure my family are taken care of.
Absolutely.
So with my job, we have excellent benefits. That's the one important thing about manufacturing. 9 times out of 10, you're in a union, and the union makes sure healthcare is a priority. And unfortunately, healthcare now is very expensive. So being in the manufacturing industry, Steelworkers is who I belong to. They've made it very affordable in order to provide the best medical coverage that I can get for my family. So.
Absolutely, that's very important.
Yes, it is.
I bet it is. Also, another question I'm going to ask you that's more so hands-on with the equipment. Being that you use a lot of equipment, what is a couple of your favorite equipments and why?
Well, unfortunately, I don't use a lot of equipment.
Okay,
Being a
gotcha.
flanger operator, that's all I do. Occasionally, I will get on a forklift to move material around, and occasionally I'll use a drill press.
Gotcha.
But that's unfortunately all I use. But in our shop, we have machinists, so we have boring mills, and we have lathes, and we have grinders, and forming presses and dishers. We have many pieces of equipment in there, and I actually think they're all pretty cool. But I'm biased. I love running the flanger. I've had other opportunities to maybe run other machines or learn new machines, but I like what I do. So I'm gonna-
Gotcha. Now, can you actually explain to us what the flanger is?
Yeah,
by chance?
absolutely.
Thank you.
So in my department, it's called YDF, Youngstown Dish and Flange. So what we do is we take a stock piece of metal, depending on, in the thickness will vary. And what we do is we use a giant plasma table. We cut out giant circles,
Awesome.
and then it'll go to the disher, which is the step before me. And what they'll do is they'll pound this piece of steel into a semi-shape, depending on what the customer's specifications are. How deep the dish will be. And when it comes to me, I basically roll it up.
Oh, wow.
I finish the product. And like I said, in my department, we can do 48 inches all the way up to 120. But in our sister company in California, they can do tank heads all the way up to 300 inches. So, I mean, it's giant.
Wow, wow. Now, at this time, we would like to take you to our welding program here at TCTC.
Welding technology. It would be impossible to go through the day without touching something that has been welded, like cars, furniture, coffee pots, submarines, and in this case, the kitchen sink. In welding, you'll dig right in and get classroom instruction as well as on the job training. There's big money in this program also. How do we get oil? Through a welded pipeline, of course. Once an accomplished welder with the certifications he will gain at TCTC, you will have the opportunity to become a foreman or even an inspector.
Wow. All right, Mr. James, or Jade Corley, sorry, excuse me.
all right.
We're going to jump back into a few questions.
Okay.
So another one, what is your average daily work life like?
Well, for me, I'm fortunate. I'm strictly day turn, so I work 6 a.m. 2 p.m. Unfortunately, in the manufacturing industry, swing shift and midnight shifts are pretty regular. So in my department, we run 24 hours a day. So
Gotcha.
3 shifts, day turn, afternoon, midnights, the occasional weekends. And that's pretty normal for most of the manufacturing industry. There's a lot of swing shifts and a lot of midnights and weekends, but you do get compensated for working weekends. As far as Saturday and all overtime is time and a half, and then Sundays are double time, so double
nice.
your base pay, and it definitely it adds up.
Absolutely. I was going to say, me, I can't stand working the stretch of the afternoon. Get me up in the morning. I'm not much of a morning
I'm
person.
a morning person.
Are you a morning person?
Day turn doesn't bother me at all. Now,
Gotcha.
midnights, that would bother me.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I think I could do the midnights, but get me up in the morning, even though I don't want to, but I definitely can't do the stretch of the
I
afternoon.
go to bed very early, so I couldn't survive on midnights.
Gotcha. Now, looking back at your job, what are some of the favorite things about your job that you love?
Well, I love the fact that my job is a challenge. It's never the same every day. It's different.
Gotcha.
Our orders that we do are really small. The biggest order we'll do is maybe 50 pieces. So that's only a day or two of work. So we're always changing over, doing different products, and so it's not monotonous. It's not the same old routine. It always changes. So it keeps you on your toes, which is a
Right.
good thing. And like I said, it's a challenge. It's because what I do is manual operation. It's a computerized piece of equipment, but it's manually operated. So I actually can ruin the product if I don't pay close enough attention.
Right.
So, like I said, I think the challenge part, and like I said, maybe it's a pride issue to try to do the best I can every day. So that's what I like about it.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Now, at this time, we're going to take a look at our manufacturing program that's going to be new here in fall of 2020.
The Manufacturing and Machining Technologies program is designed to prepare students for advanced entry-level careers, apprenticeships, and further education. Students will receive instruction on theory as well as extensive hands-on experience. Our lab will be outfitted with industrial-sized manual and CNC machine tools that parallel what is found in the industry. The current machining and manufacturing workforce is aging and creating openings for a new generation of skilled workers. Students in this program will invent, design, create, and build the advanced precision parts and tools used in everyday products. Work alongside local industry leaders to design and build challenging projects using advanced computer-controlled technology. They will also program and control industrial CNC machines to produce products from engineering blueprints and specifications.
We would like to thank Mahoney County Career and Technical Center for providing us the footage for their manufacturing program. The manufacturing program will be here at TCTC in fall of 2020. Now we have a video by Industry Needs You.
Gone are the days when you graduated from high school and walked directly into a manufacturing job with little or no training, where the work environment was dirty, noisy, and unsafe. Oh, how things have changed.
The manufacturing industry is alive and strong, and it's right here in our backyard.
It's not your grandfather's company anymore. They're technologically advanced machines. Everything's computer driven.
I'm very hands-on. I like creating things and seeing them be put to use. So I didn't want to just fix things. I want to be able to build my own.
This type of work is something that you see the direct reflection of what you've worked on all day. You don't have to guess. You don't have to wait to see. You see your work in front of you every day.
I never would have had the opportunity to start my life right after high school if I wouldn't have come into the welding program. It gets me started and ready in order to be successful and live my dream, which is pipelining.
I enrolled here because my brother had actually taken this class, and I saw that he was actually becoming successful, so I decided to do the same thing.
It's given me a very career right out of high school. I don't have to go to college for it. You always need a machinist in manufacturing.
When I get right out of here, I could get a job. I could possibly start out making $60,000 a year, and my friends that go into college are going to be owing $60,000.
If you're knowledgeable and you have the abilities, you can make more than most your parents are at a much earlier age. You don't have to wait 20 years into your career to make 6 digits.
You get the full time, you get all your hours. Working conditions are clean and safe, and we have management that care about us, so the conditions to work here are great.
It's definitely an in-need field right now. It definitely puts me out there with the knowledge and the experience through our program, whether instead of going to schools for 9 months or a couple years.
It's always a change of pace, a change of scenery. You're always doing something different. You're really getting to see how the world works and most things are made.
You need to lay the foundation and find out what you want to do in your life. And to be able to come into a highly technical skill and be able to learn something and progress and become really good at it, that's where you're going to find yourself.
I learned a trade that I can use for the rest of my life.
I'm graduating in June and I have a job already lined up and I can't wait to start.
I get to do what I love.
I can honestly tell you this is the best decision I've ever made. There's nothing else that I would rather do.
Industry needs you.
Industry needs you.
Industry needs me, and I am ready to go to work.
Talk to your guidance counselor and learn how you can start a great paying career in the manufacturing industry. Go to our website, industryneedsyou.com. We'll be happy to set you up with a mentor who can show you the ropes.
Now at this time, we're going to take a look down with Zach to see if he is ready down at our YET lab, where he's sitting with a welding student to teach us how to use the VR welder.
Thank you so much, Dion. I'm down here with Evan Dane from the welding program. So I see a little bit of this stuff. What exactly do you have in front of you?
I have the GuideWeld VR made by RealityWorks.
All right. Could you tell me exactly what it does?
It trains entry-level welders, practice welding while gaining the knowledge to stay safe.
All right. So could you show me how to work it?
Yeah, but first we need to go over our safety equipment. These are our gloves that we have to wear. They protect us from the heat because the molten metal that we have can get anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 degrees. And then we also have to wear our hood because the light that comes off of the arc is 10 times brighter than the sun.
Wow, all right, very interesting. So before we actually get started, I see 2 different tools here. Could you kind of explain what the first one is?
Yeah, this is a stick stinger. It uses electricity to melt the self-shielded filler rod to the metal, and it melts both of them, joining them together. And then this is the MIG gun. The MIG gun is a continuous solid wire that feeds through the gun, joining the two pieces of metal together.
All right, so for this first one, you are going to be using the stick gun?
Yes.
Okay, so if you look at the screen, you're going to see him start a simulation of welding. So could you kind of like explain what you're doing as you do it?
Yeah. So first it wants us to tack it together. And then it wants you to set up and weld.
All right, now if you watch the screen, you'll see a couple little symbols. The plus sign means that they need to go faster. The equal sign means that you're doing a perfect speed for a weld. And then I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there will be a red, maybe a red minus sign that will tell you to slow down because you're going too quick. So this is just exactly what it says. It's simulating a weld. And I believe you said there was a reload function that you could show us?
Yeah.
And wow. It actually reloads. That's really cool. And on the screen, you'll see an animation of the actual reloading. And then when you're finished with a weld, you do what?
We chip the weld. Chipping the weld prevents, if you're going to paint, it prevents the slag from falling off, causing rust to the weld.
All right, very interesting. So once the animation for this is done, you will be able to exit this because you have finished your weld. So, and then it will pop up this screen. And can you just kind of go in depth on what all this means?
Yeah, your work angle is your up and down angle. Your travel angle is your right to left. Your arc length is the distance between the end of your electrode and the base metal. And the speed is how fast you're welding.
All right. I see at the top right there is a little box labeled score. Could you kind of explain?
Yeah, the score it's the average of all four things that were just mentioned, and it gives you, if you get a 70% or higher, you're able to take the next test.
Wow. All right. Very interesting. And below that, I see a box with a plus sign. I believe you said that was to what?
Review your weld.
That is so cool. So on the screen now, you will see a 3D animation, just like what he did. It was just virtual welding, and you can look back and see on what you need to improve on, and just kind of watch exactly what you just did, but in a 3D rendered little world. So while that's playing, I would like to ask you a few questions. How would this little setup here, how would that help with someone to pursue their career in welding?
It provides good information for newer welders while being able to stay safe with their hands.
Do you personally think that this could prepare people and other like welders?
Yes, I think it'd be able to provide great learning for newer welders or younger kids without being able to inflict harm to themselves.
Now, let's start talking about welding a little more. I know that you are very interested in welding, as you are in welding. So what are some of the careers that you could pursue as a welder?
Personally, I want to go into the underwater realm of it, but you could also, NASA needs new welders, NASCAR needs new welders, the Pipeline Union, Iron Workers Union.
Wow. All right, so as you can see, there are a lot of different careers that you can pursue just by being interested at a young age. You can start with this, and eventually you could end up maybe even working for NASA. Well, thank you, Evan, and I will send it back up to you, Liv.
Hello again, everyone. My name's Liv, and I'm your VR specialist. Today, we're looking into the future manufacturing technology pathway here at Trumbull Career and Technical Center. First, we're going to look at the future manufacturing program coming to TCTC this upcoming fall. Mahoning County Career and Technical Center was generous enough to give us the videos provided today. Now, before I start rambling, let's get to it. So as you can see here from now, you're seeing these giant CNC machines, right? Well, yeah, they're giant CNC machines. That's pretty much all I can say about them. Here's an up close and personal look at another machine. Here's another angle, I should say. Oh, that's big. Another CNC machines are located around here. Now, as you can see, there's not hundreds, maybe multiple, but there are a lot. Now I want to show you this engineering video. This is a program here at TCTC. Over back here in the corner, they're doing a little bit of soldering. Over here, they're doing a little bit of X-Files, which I'm not in engineering, so I can't tell you. But if you want to learn more, you're more than welcome to go to the website and look at all the 3D videos we've posted there for you. This is their robotics lab. Back there is a bench mill. And here, we have 3D modeling. Oh, let's get this out of the way for you guys. Now over here, they're working on their senior project. Oh, okay. Now this is some high-level mathematication they're doing back there. I'm not the math wizard, so I can't solve that. And over here, it appears to be they're working on some sort of programming of some sort. Now, if you're interested in coming and seeing the engineering lab and you're a middle school student, be sure to check out our summer camp. Here's a little promo about it. This summer, we had middle school students come into Trumbull Career and Technical Center for Manufacturing Week. Students had the opportunity to learn more about engineering and welding. Students got to work hands-on with instructors to learn and build. Plans are in place to run again in the summer of June 15th, 2020. Watch the TCTC website for further details on our Manufacturing Week.
Again, we would like to thank the Mahoning Valley Manufacturers Collision for the Industry Needs You video. Also, we would like to thank you, Mr. Jade Corley, for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Now, at this time, it's time for your Career Tech takeaways. Now, this is the time where you get to decide, are you interested in any of these fields that we talked about today? This sheet right here, your teacher should have been able to get off of our Career Corner website. The questions may consist of, do you know anyone in this field? What's your E? And if you're even interested in any of the fields that we talked about today. Again, this has been Career Corner, and I'm Dion Johnson. See you next month.